Hey, yo, check this out, y'all. I need Jalen Rose to bring his behind to the front of the congregation. I want to know, what is he talking about? Jalen Rose said this so profoundly, and we're going to play the video in a second. And he's talking about Kyrie Irving, saying what he's doing is not an act of civil rights because he's not being oppressed. Let me play this video real quick.
That I think is wrong. And let me tell y'all something else. What he doing ain't an act of civil rights. He's not being oppressed. He ain't being oppressed. He getting $40 million to play basketball this year. He ain't being oppressed. So I just had to say that. And woosah. Because this podcast is therapy for me.
Well, I'm going to have to say this, Mr. Rose, and woosah. But you just don't know what is civil rights, right? You're trying to relate oppression to how much money Kyrie is making and saying that, basically saying that a guy that make that amount of money cannot be oppressed, which is false. And I'm going to educate you today. First, I want to tell you what is civil rights. Civil rights is the rights of citizens to political and social freedom and equality. It has nothing to do with money. So when Kyrie took the stance during the whole mandate thing, right, he didn't have the political freedom or the social freedom to do what he did. Why? Because they didn't allow him to perform his job, right? That is a sign of oppression. And to make this clear, when it comes to Black people, wealth does not equal freedom, right? Being Black and having money does not make you transcend racial inequalities. Just does not. And let's look at the situation at hand. Why isn't Amazon being held accountable like Kyrie is? And to make it clear, Amazon is not the only major company that's selling this material. Also, you have Walmart and you have Target that's also selling the book, right? Why aren't they being held accountable? You want to know what oppression looked like, Mr. Rose? Kyrie's livelihood was taken away, and he have to go through a gauntlet of apologies. He just met with Joe Tsai and Adam Silver, and they said that Kyrie is an anti-Semitic. So why do he got to jump through all these hoops, still be suspended, money being taken out of his pocket, his family pocket, if he's not anti-Semitic like they tried to claim that he was? This is what oppression looks like. So what's really going on here, Jalen? Now, we could bring up other situations also. Brett Favre was just in the news. Let's compare that to Kyrie, who was held to a higher standard, and why. How about Howard Stern? What Howard Stern says and does is a trillion times worse than what Kyrie can even think about doing. In fact, you yourself, Mr. Rose, back in, I think, 2011 and 2012, I think 2011, you called, what's his name, Grant Hill, Uncle Tom. You don't obviously know what the real meaning of Uncle Tom is. Maybe I'll educate you on that at another time. In 2012, I believe you called Rob Gronkowski. You say he got white boy wasted. You apologize for that. The things that you said was not even near as what Howard Stern say and do. Why were you held to a higher standard than Howard Stern? You still don't understand what oppression looks like? Now, you got to understand this too. Economic privilege is a smokescreen against oppression, bigotry, and discrimination. It really don't matter how much money you have. Yes, money can afford you things that can't afford the common man, but don't think that just because you have money that you cannot be oppressed. Let's look at another example. Colin Kaepernick, he's rich, right? So is Ben Roethlisberger. Colin Kaepernick is banned from the NFL because he decided to take a knee, whereas Roethlisberger was never banned from the NFL with those alleged allegations, which I don't want to repeat, that he had on him, and he was allowed to play. Still don't understand what oppression looks like? How about this? LeBron James, the richest athlete in the world. He said it himself, being black in America is tough after his home was vandalized. That's oppression. Now, also, 70% of the NFL is black, 32 teams. How many of the owners are black? Do you ever think that this ratio was done by accident? You don't think that there's some type of oppression going on with other billionaires, that they not allowed to buy into these franchises or buy franchises? How about Byron Allen lawsuit, in which he accused McDonald's of racial stereotyping because they did not want to advertise with black-owned media? You don't think that that's oppression? Man, see, the thing is with these athletes, not all of them, of course, but the ones that they put in front of us, the Shannon Sharps, the Jalen Roses, the other basketball player that used to, Kendrick Perkins, Charles Barkley, they put these guys in front of Shaq. They put these guys in front of us for a purpose, right? Because these companies know who they are hiring, right? Yeah, just because they dribble a basketball, made millions of dollars, that does not equate to being intelligent. That does not equate to having knowledge. It don't even equate to knowing oneself, because if it did, Jalen Rose would not say the things that he said. I want you guys to let me know what you think in the comments. Was Jalen Rose wrong by saying that Kyrie cannot be oppressed because he made $40 million? I'll catch you guys later. Peace.